Here I am working with website X5 Professional, and I'm fairly fussy when I work with color, so let's take a look at the main menu. And we'll see here that the color that is being used for the current page is this yellow color. And I'm just going to click on it and then confirm the color, and we can see here, and we'll have to remember these numbers: red is 255, green is 200, and blue is 21. So just remember that: 255, 200, and 21. Now I've decided I want to use this color in other elements on my page, and that's why I'm paying close attention to the color. For example, if we go into Photoshop, I have a company logo here, and what I've done is I've made the yellow in the company logo match those exact numbers we talked about. So if I put my mouse pointer over the yellow, you can see on the right hand side in the information tab, red is 255, green is 200, and blue is 21. And that's exactly what we want. So I've matched up the color of the menu items to the color of my logo. In addition, if we go to X5, go to the map, we'll be able to arrive at a page that I've been working on called About Us. Double click. And in this cell, I've decided to add some background color. And here it is, the same yellow that we saw before. Just to confirm, I'll click on the yellow, come down here, and we'll see that indeed it is red 255, green 200, and blue 21. Excellent. So now let's go ahead and preview this page. So here I am previewing the page inside X5, and you can notice, if you look closely, that the color of the yellow here does not match exactly the color in the About Us tab. As it turns out, the color of this yellow swatch does match properly with the text in the logo. However, there seems to be a flaw when we look at the About Us tab. I don't know how well you can see it. It's extremely subtle, but the color is not matching up. However, if we come over to the right and choose to view this in a different browser rather than in the X5 window, let's try Edge. Well, how about that? In Microsoft Edge, we have a perfect color match between the yellow that I've chosen for the background and the yellow that we have for our menu, and that was our objective, was to match up the colors perfectly. However, if we close this and try a different browser, such as Google Chrome, we see the same problem that we saw in the website X5 preview, in that there is a color shift between the yellow here and the yellow of the menu tab buttons. Now, because we're working with Windows, I cannot show you how the output looks in another browser called Safari. Safari is no longer available for Windows 10, but I can assure you that in Safari on my tablet, I have an Apple tablet, as we saw in Microsoft Edge, where we have a perfect match between this color, and the color in my logo. The integrity is perfect. So far, there's only two browsers that are working correctly. So for example, Mozilla Firefox, same problem. We have a color shift between the yellow here and the yellow that's in the menu. And finally, if we check out another browser, Opera. Again, we see this subtle color shift between the yellow I chose for the background, which matches the color in the logo, but it differs from what we're seeing here on the tab. I'll close this window. And finally, just to show you one more time, Microsoft Edge is the only browser right now for Windows that gives us the proper color fidelity and the proper color rendition between the menu items and the color I chose for this background. So we have Microsoft Edge working correctly in Windows. We have Safari working correctly on my Apple iPad tablet, but all the other browsers are not working correctly. So there seems to be some problem with translating the information into the standard RGB color space with most of the browsers, except for Microsoft Edge on Windows and except for Safari on the Apple iPad.